Hi, we're the audience.
Hello.
Here to listen to Leah.
Here's my note cards.
Oh, we got the note cards.
Woo. Okay. Alright. Have you ever been stumped on what to get one of your friends for a birthday gift or a special occasion? Well, I have a great idea. A tie blanket is a way to go. Tie blanket looks like this. In the past, I've made about 3 to 4 different blankets for some of my friends and family, and they've been a great hit. Tie blankets are easy to make, and even if you're not good at crafting, it's still pretty easy, so I can do it, so it's fine. Today I'll be telling you 3 different steps into making a tie blanket. The first step is buying materials, second is the setup, and the third step is cutting and tying of the materials. So let's begin with the first step, which is buying materials. I personally would recommend going to a store such as Michael's or Joann Fabrics or any other craft store that's nearby to get the 2 fabric pieces for the blanket. So the fabric pieces should be about 1.5 to 3 yards, and the larger the blanket you want, the more fleece you're going to want to buy. The smaller blanket, less fleece. And then for the color scheme, I usually buy one that has a pattern like this, and then one that has a solid color that goes along with the pattern color. Or you could just do 2 solid colors, whatever you're feeling. The second thing that you need is a scissors or a rotary cutter. I personally use a scissors. It's a lot easier and they're around the house more often. The third item is a ruler, which is optional if you don't feel like you can cut in a straight line and you don't feel comfortable eyeballing it. Now that we have all the materials, let's move on to the second step, which is the setup. So you're going to want either a really large table or a really big area on a hardwood floor. And you're going to want to put the 2 fleece pieces on top of each other on the floor of the table. And if you are not able to put both pieces on top of each other and spread them out fully, then you should change locations to have more room. So you're going to use your scissors to cut the edges of your fleece so it's even all the way around the side. And if you would like to use a ruler, this is a great time to use that if you want to make a straight cut. And once that's finished, you're going to want to cut all the square pieces on each corner of the 2 fleeces. So the square should be about 3 to 4 inches all the way around, and if you don't feel comfortable making even cuts all the way around on the 4 corners, you can use a cardstock and cut it out by measuring with a ruler and then placing it on top of each corner and then tracing your cuts as you go. So now that you have the setup, we're going to move on to the last step, which is the cutting and tying of the blanket. I think cutting and tying of the blanket is one of the most exciting parts of the blanket making. So first you're going to want to cut slits through both pieces of the fabric. So the slits should be about 1 to 1.5 inches between each slit, and then 3 to 4 inches into the blanket. So you should have the same number of slits all the way around the blanket because you're cutting through both pieces. Once that is done, you get to tie all the pieces together, so you match the top and the bottom slits and double knot it. And the double knot works well because if you are putting it in the washing machine, the blanket will stay together. Once you tie together all the slits, then you have a blanket. So in conclusion, I have taught you the 3 steps into making a tie blanket, which include buying materials, the setup, and the cutting and tying of the blanket. So now, if you ever have any gifts that you need to give a loved one, tie blanket is an easy option, or you can make one for yourself.
Woohoo! Good job, Leah!